Spoilers, nigga.
Spoilers, by the way. If you haven't watched season 5 of Stranger Things, spoilers. Mega spoilers.
All right. So here's your chance to get up out of here if you don't want to be spoiled. So the finale for season 5 recently dropped off. And there's some takes out here. There's some takes. I'm pretty sure some of you who follow me on Twitter know how I feel about it. I'm pretty sure some of you that follow Kato on Twitter, y'all know how he feel about it. And so we're going to kind of get into it. First, we're going to do a little recap of what happened. We don't have to do a long recap. And I'm just doing a recap of season 5 because we didn't already talk. Not season 5, a recap of the finale episode because we didn't already talk about it ad nauseum for the other episodes. Recap, nigga. What we find out is that the upside down is just a bridge. It's a bridge between there's Earth, there's the upside down, and it's a wormhole, or not a black hole, it's a wormhole. Yeah, just a wormhole to basically what is another planet, which is we're calling it the right side up for right now. So
it's called the Abyss. They say it like twice.
Yeah, you're right. They called it the Abyss. So the final episode was called the right side up. Okay, fine. So the Abyss is basically Vecna's planet, and his plan is to, I guess, collide the Abyss with Earth. And that's basically what his plan is. All right. And so
wait, no. It's not his plan. It's the
we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that.
Yeah.
We're gonna get to that. So that's basically what his plan is. He's abducted, 12 kids?
12 kids.
12 kids, and he's using them as basically battery packs to do this, to bring them, to bring his entire planet and merge them together. So the gang, their plan is they know that if they get the kids away from Vecna, he can't succeed. They got to be able to get into the Abyss. And so they're going to use 11 to go into Vecna's mind, free the kids from his trance, I suppose. And then they got to get into the Abyss to go and get the kids' physical bodies and then defeat Vecna for once and for all. All right. So that's their plan. That's what they plan on doing. What happens next is one side of the game, they go into the Abyss and they fight a giant kaiju, which we later on find out is the Mind Flayer. Jesus Christ, because there's a lot going on here. Elle is with her sister Callie and her dad and the Russian nigga. Oh, he's not really Russian. He just speaks Russian. They have to blow up the upside down. So that's their plan. They save the kids, defeat Vecna, and then blow up the upside down, disrupt the exotic matter, so the upside down and destroy the wormhole, so this can never happen again. The conflict is that Callie is telling Ella, I almost called her Ella, Elle, that as long as they are alive, the military will always try to strike back up the whole thing that brought about Elle and Callie. And I guess Elle's father, Hopper, doesn't want that, so they plan to kill themselves. It's a bunch of big goof. So with that being said, Elle goes and gets the kids. The rest of the gang fights off the kaiju monster. They kill Vecna. They escape the upside down. The military catches them. Elle decides to stay behind in the upside down to die along with the upside down in order to stop the whole cycle. The military forgets everything ever happened. Everybody goes and graduates, and everybody goes their separate ways. Okay. Somebody says you are shite at reviews. I'm pretty sure I'm not doing a review right now. I'm pretty sure I was just doing a recap. So I don't understand how you can say I'm shit at reviews when I'm just doing a slight recap. Yeah, you're gonna have to explain that one to me. So let's just go with the initial reaction from Kato.
I'll let you go first.
Okay. My initial reaction was that I was satisfied with the final season, with the final episode of I'll just say the finale. I was satisfied with the finale of it. It has a couple of holes, more than a couple of holes. It has plenty of holes unanswered questions. So there was one problem that I had with the first few episodes of season 5 where I felt like there wasn't enough L, but then I felt like the finale kind of focused a little bit more on L and Vecna. Too many characters. I like the criticism that somebody said it's too many characters, not enough to do. I did like that. Somebody in the chat said Nancy Rambo. She's that was ignorant. But overall, I felt like, so what I'm comparing this with, and I see a lot of the criticisms for it, which a lot of them are valid criticisms, but I feel like a lot of people are taking some of the negativity from what we know is some bad shit and snowballing it into some bullshit. For example, we all hated, we all despised Will's coming out scene. That shit was fucking stupid. We all agree with that. But some people are taking that and snowballing it into criticism that doesn't make sense. Like, season 5 looks cheaper than the first 4 seasons. I think that's fucking retarded. Huh? In what way? What's an example of it looking cheap?
It does. Just the entire time of them in the abyss and the upside down and them also back in Hawkins, it looks like it doesn't look, and maybe it's not just like it's not talking about just like how much money they spent on it, because obviously it looks good when you're talking about like a camera or something like that.
I'll grant
like
you,
cinematography wise, it just looks very green screen and bland and just
I'll give you the Abyss.
It doesn't really
the
look
Abyss
good.
did look like a green screen, almost a little bit, but
it just doesn't. I would say if you go, because I rewatched the whole series. If you watch, just go back to season 1.
I did. I just rewatched it too.
Or season, it's a drastic change. It's not a good one. It's not a good one. Like it that just goes into my other problems. I'll let you go.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I need somebody to give me a side-by-side comparison of how season 5 looks cheaper. Somebody said too much CGI.
It just does not look right. Like, it's very hard to put into words. It just looks very okay. I know what it is. It's the way that they shoot it, right? So remember when they had season 1, 2, or 3 or whatever, you wouldn't have like this very far away shot where you have to have everybody dead center, right? Like, I noticed when I'm watching it, they shoot it to where everything is like dead center. You don't really get like the real up close shots, or just like the cinematography that looks like somebody's trying to get in there and make it look good. It just looks like it's shot on a dolly and they're moving the dolly around the entire scene. Like, that's all that it looks like. And it just does not really look, it doesn't look, I'm trying to think of the word, like gritty, authentic, or whatever. It just looks very fake. Looks very fake. It just doesn't look tangible. There's the word.
I don't think Stranger Things was ever a high production show. I just think it was shot very well in the beginning. They had great cinematography. Really good.
I mean, listen, I don't have a problem with the criticism. I just need to see an example of it, because my problem,
I can't tell you because I didn't watch the last season.
I got that. I understand that from you, but it's just a lot of, like, well, I'm not gonna say a lot of people. I've only heard this because I heard Clownfish TV say it the first time, and a lot of the criticisms I'm seeing online are valid criticisms. But I heard Clownfish TV say, I was listening to them talk about it, that this was before the final episode. They was talking about Stranger Things, but they started out by talking about the whole Will coming out scene, which I agree, which is why I clicked on the video, because I was like, oh, I wonder what their opinion is on it, because I thought it was fucking stupid too. And then they went into the criticism of, oh, it just looks cheaper than the first. And I'm like, hold on, wait a fucking minute.
If you look at that scene, the way that it's shot.
But that's what I'm saying. We can use words, like we can explain it all day long, but I need to visually see an example, because I'm looking at the same. I'm not seeing no drastic drop off from the visuals of this film, and as far as the cinematography and the visuals of it. Now, there is an element of, as the show began to progress and you start introducing all of this other stuff, you're adding on a lot of bullshit, right? Because the shadow monster was something very, like the Mind Flayer was it was like just a shadow monster, and it was very ominous. It was very like, what the fuck is this? It gave you the, like, what the hell is this? And then when you see the final result of it, I can see people saying, okay, that was underwhelming as far as what we thought that giant Mind Flayer thing in the sky was versus what we got was just another fleshy Kaiju, I suppose. He just looked like he's a bigger version of what we fought in the mall in season 3. I understand that, right? I can agree with that criticism. I can also agree with the criticism of how the fuck you give me this giant monster and you mean to tell me that Nancy is shooting it with an M16 and it's flinching? The fuck are we doing? The fuck are we doing?
Oh God, I'm gonna let you finish.
So somebody says lack of consistency. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of lack of consistency, but you have to tell me exactly what that is. So me, when it comes to this show, I was more character driven. That's what I was more invested in. So my favorite parts of the show was Elle and Mike together, Lucas and Max together. I loved how the fuck I'm gonna say I'm gonna love the nigga? I can't remember the nigga's name. Snackatoo, man. Fuck that nigga, man. Fuck him. Dustin. Yeah, I love his character, but like one thing I hate is the fuck your girlfriend go, nigga. We had a whole season where we went to her house and everything. We just forget about this bitch. Like, what happened? Like you lost one of your best friends, but we know you had a girlfriend the entire time, right? The fuck she go? Okay. I like the criticism of Joyce was given nothing to do right up until the end. She finished off Vecna by chopping his head off. Okay. I guess y'all realized y'all didn't give her nothing to do. It was like, okay, we'll just have Joyce finish him off at the end. It's like, okay. They flirted with the idea of redeeming Vecna. I was like, please don't do that. Please don't do that. I didn't. And honestly, you could have left his backstory ambiguous. I would have rather them have done that as opposed to show us this rock. I mean, there's so many places we can go to that I could be talking all day. That's why I'm waiting for you to come in with your criticisms.
And I'm gonna wait till you're done.
Huh?
I'm gonna wait.
I'm not gonna. That's the thing. I'm not gonna be done. I'm not gonna be done. Like there's so much on this show that we could talk about.
Well, I could not enjoy it for the simple fact of like there are small moments of the episode that worked, like with Dustin at the end, where he did the homage to Eddie, where he did the graduation send off that Eddie never got to do because he died. Like that's a good moment. You know, obviously everything with Steve and Dustin is always good. They're the best characters on the show. But it's like everything in between to me, I couldn't get invested in it because I'm just like, it doesn't feel like these characters are the characters I've been watching for 4 seasons. Like, I don't feel the connection between Mike and 11. It doesn't feel real. It feels like they're phoning it in. Like, maybe that's the acting, maybe it's the writing, maybe it's the situation that we're in, but it doesn't feel like that's a couple. Like, I don't feel like they care about each other for real. When it comes to Lucas and Max, I mean, they barely showed them in this recent episode. And what the fuck was Max doing the whole time? She did nothing in the episode but sit in the goddamn wheelchair, you know? And yeah, she ran through the woods or whatever and went to get the kids, but they really didn't do much, you know? And then on top of that, my main concern or my main criticism with it is I feel like there was really a lack of consequence for everything that our characters went through. Like everybody got this fucking Return of the King ending, and I just felt like I didn't like that. I didn't like that shit.
I like that criticism. I like that criticism because it's actually true. It's like there is no difference between all of this shit starting and all of it ending. That's the thing that annoys me the most. So like one of the criticisms that I got upset was like people were mad that like they were fighting a kaiju at the end. And I'm like, well, I'm confused because we fought a fucking kaiju in season 3. So how are you upset about this now, but you wasn't upset about this in 2020? I mean,
to the credit, most people, that's why season 3 is looked at as one of the lesser seasons because most people didn't like that. They didn't like the build up they didn't like the Russian subplot and the build up to the Mind Flayer being this big fleshy monster that's like tracking down our characters throughout the whole city and things like that. Hold on. We gotta give Hypno out real quick before we continue because I feel like we're gonna be
sorry guys. No, yeah, I know we went a little bit longer, but I appreciate you guys let me hang out tonight, man. That was awesome. Starting my year off with
yeah, man.
Very gay. Very gay New Black Street. No, I'm just kidding, man. You guys are awesome. You guys know that already.
I appreciate it,
man.
bro.
Hey, his link's in the description. Y'all know. And
yeah, if you
after
want to do
here,
that
we're going
subscribe
over
thing,
there.
I would appreciate it. Thanks, you guys, and yeah, have fun talking about Stranger Things. One thing I will say before I go, though, I stopped watching Stranger Things after season 2. I ended up picking it back up like a year or two later for season 3 and then season 4 eventually. But yeah, like I will say that if there's one thing about this show, it is unbelievably inconsistent in its storytelling. I think that it almost feels as if the Duffer Brothers were kind of just winging it after the second season. I don't know why I feel that way, to be honest with you.
Well, it's because the first season, it was supposed to be an anthology series at first, and Netflix went into season
was it
by
actually
season.
supposed to be an anthology series?
That's what they were saying originally.
How the hell
It was
were they
supposed
going
to
to
be
pull that
anthology.
off?
Where I guess it was going to be different stories of the Upside Down or whatever, but Netflix went into season. And
That's
if you
weird.
look at season 1 and 2, it looks like that's probably that's as far as they got with the story, pretty much, and then they just kept going.
I don't know, man.
So-
I think they were spending way too much time trying to figure out what they were going to tell with the story, and by the time they did that, the kids became adults. I think that's where the weirdness comes from, because like they took way too much time to get these 5 seasons out, and if they would have shortened it a little bit and rode the hype of the first couple seasons, I think it would have hit better. But or at least made it seem like they had a plan. But anyway, that's basically it. All right, guys, thank you again. I appreciate you, and I'll see you on the next one.
All right,
Yes, sir, man. Hey, peace out. Peace out. We will be raiding into Hypnocast when we're done here, so hang out before you go over there. But back to this shit. The it's the consequence thing. Like when Max comes out of her coma and she's not blind anymore, and she'll be able to walk. It's like she went through all that for what? Will being a part of the hive mind, and even though the Mind Flayer and Vecna die, nothing fucking happens to Will. What's the point of even telling us they're connected? Where are all of the antagonists, the Demobats from season 4, the Demodogs, as you just showed a few episodes earlier, the Demogorgon that's been involved since the first season? Where are they at when we get to the Upside Down and when we get to the Abyss? What's going on with that? You never explain.
Somebody tried to explain that away, and I guess like this is like much like the ending where they talked about what they choose to believe. If you choose to believe this, you can. If not, it bothers you, I wouldn't have a problem with it. They're saying
Go ahead.
They're saying that to form what ultimately being the Mind Flayer at the end, it absorbed all of the Demogorgons and shit.
Yeah, that's bullshit. Get the fuck out of here. I don't want to hear that at all. I'll tell you why I don't want to hear that. Because first of all, the Duffer Brothers are idiots, and they keep coming out and telling everybody what they were doing, and it keeps showing that they have no idea what they were doing. Where they said, they explained there was none because they say mainly it's just that Vecna was not expecting this sneak attack on his home turf. I'm going to tell you right now, this is the dumbest fucking explanation you can give, because quite literally, in this very episode, we have Vecna invade Eleven's mind. At that very moment, he already knows what the plan is going to be. And nobody talks about that. Vecna knows the plan, and they still execute the plan to perfection. Because he read her mind. So if it's like, okay, if he knows that they're coming to the Abyss, you got to bring out your backup, your army or whatever. Hell, they did that in season 4 when he went into Max's mind, and that's how he knew what was going on. And what's the first thing he did? Here come the Demobats. Here come the Demogorgons. You know what I mean? It's like so that doesn't work. And for 2, like I keep saying with this, if you don't tell your audience, or at least give your audience some kind of answer, and they have to headcanon what they think is going on, that means you did a terrible job at writing. It means you did a terrible job at writing. If I have to go in headcanon,
I don't think that's always true. I think if you it can be done well where you leave things up to interpretation and it builds to the lore of what it is. Now,
that would work if you weren't given answers.
That's why I said that it's not always true. I wasn't saying that you weren't right about it in this particular situation, but going back to the consequence thing, it's more about, like I said before, like there's no difference between where these guys started and where they ended. There's no L now. Whether or not, because Elle supposedly sacrificed herself, but Mike introduces the idea that he chooses to believe where she faked her death so that they could live a normal life without being chased by the military. The problem is that doesn't, like, you can choose to believe that, but I'm going to choose to believe no, that bitch is dead, because that plan makes no sense. One, we saw Callie die. Like, this isn't like she was shot, right? She was killed by the military. They tried to shoot her in the head, but then, you know, somebody blew up a helicopter and he missed the shot, but shot her in the stomach. So she died. Like, and enough time passed from her bleeding out. You can't say that, you know, she stayed alive and then died. Like, no.
Yeah,
Enough
and
time
even if it was like her mind illusions or whatever, first, like you said, how the fuck did she survive that long, bleeding out with a gunshot wound right there? You know, that doesn't make any sense. And two, how would she be able to know exactly when to put the illusion on, being so far away? And they're not even in the upside down. Does her powers reach that far? They never established that she could do something like that.
No, her powers do not reach that far, but it doesn't even matter. Even if it did reach that far, how would you know when to have done it?
Yeah, exactly. How would you know
if they had stopped to take a shit, like,
and what if they got out and the military wasn't even there? And it's just like, okay, how are you gonna know? Or how would how would that even have worked if the fucking military wasn't even there? Oh God, see,
it's comments like this the reason why, like, I said what I said on Twitter. Glad I never wasted time watching this show.
I feel like that's valid. I feel like it's valid.
I
valid.
I don't. I don't, because the reason why I don't feel like this is valid, I feel like this would be applicable to Game of Thrones, because what I'm comparing when we talk about garbage, like, for me, season 5 to me is a 6.5, 6.5 out of 10. To me, it's serviceable. I can live with it. Season 8 of Game of Thrones was objectively some of the worst TV ever put out there. It was poorly shot, especially when you think about the context of The Long Night. They literally uprooted the theme of the show, which was at any point anybody can get it. Plot armor on everybody. They uprooted lore. Made no sense. They reversed character motivations. They reversed character growth. When you think about Cersei and her brother, they literally went back on everything that they set up to rush to the end. Under no circumstances can you convince me that season 5 of Stranger Things is that bad. No, that was like, remember when we had that debate between me and Kato about something being trash? Season 8 of Game of Thrones was objectively trash. This is not that.
Well, if you compare it to Game of Thrones season 8, yeah, it's not on the same level, but it is bad. It's not good.
I mean, and I simply don't agree with that.
My major question for that would be what character had any kind of progression from the first episode of this season till the end that's not Will coming out as gay and 11 killing herself, not killing herself?
Well, there are definitely characters that experience, like, well, there are definitely characters that didn't, like, because we already talked about that. Too many characters, not enough to do. So you're trying to split this narrative across so many threads, but I don't believe that makes this show trash. I don't believe that makes this show bad. I believe that's a hindrance. Like, my biggest gripe with this final season, the Kaiju fight, all of this hype about the Mind Flayer, and bro got pieced up by a couple of little niggas and some fire. Like what are we doing? What they should have done,
stabbed in the stomach and got
stabbed in the stomach. What they should have done is they should have brought the Mind Flayer to Hawkins.
The one place we've been the entire series, but no.
Yes, they should have brought the Mind Flayer to Hawkins, right? And Elle should have had more growth with her powers. Like I said in the last time we talked about it, they should have just went full Mary Sue with her. Because what we should have saw was Elle dropping buildings on the Mind Flayer. She should have literally got so powerful towards the end where she literally picks up Hawkins' lab and throws it on the Mind Flayer. That shit, if you really want to go big kaiju fight, that's what she should have done. Even if you would have had to kill her doing it, like on some Sue Storm shit, like using her powers killed her. I mean, she bleeds whenever she uses her powers.
This is the one instance where you have a character that has grown from season 1 to this season. She should be uber fucking powerful.
She should have been flying. Like people was crying about her jumping, and now I'm like, that's not my fucking problem. My fucking problem is I thought she was about to use her powers to fucking rip the Mind Flayer to shreds, and instead she went inside the nigga chest and barely went toe to toe with Vecna. I'm like, bro.
And you're fuck, dude. Like your big bad that you just set up dies by getting pushed onto a tooth.
Well, I didn't have a problem. I didn't have a problem with that so much as I had the problem with the fact that this show is about Elle. Why the fuck did she need Will's help to defeat Vecna? I had a problem. I had a problem with that. I'm like, bro, like let my girl Elle do her thing. We don't need. And listen, we all agree that Will coming out was stupid. I still like his character. You know what I'm saying?
And maybe that's another thing that adds on to me, like the performances of this shit. I cannot get invested because I see straight through your acting. It sucks. Like the dude that's playing Mike sucked. He fucking sucked. The dude that plays Will sucks. Like it feels like he's reading
Mike,
from a fucking PowerPoint.
I can't give you Will. I can give you Mike.
I'll pull up a clip. It literally sounds like he's reading from a fucking PowerPoint. Like that's been my major problem with him the whole season. It feels like he regressed as an actor because remember when he was a kid, he was fucking knocking it out. He was knocking it out.
When he was a kid, I definitely listen, I liked all of it when they were kids better. It just seemed with them being older, it took a lot of the. With them being older, it takes a lot of the Stranger Things out of it for me. Because remember, Stranger Things had this horror element to it. Seasons 1 through 3 for me was like there was like a real horror element. For me, season 4 introduced a more fantastical. Okay, we got this bag. So it was never scary, but it was kind of like what remember old girl got killed in the pool? That shit was kind of like, oh shit, what we dealing?
I'm kind of the opposite. Because season 1 and 2 was like more horror based, and then 3 it felt like they got away from that and went more like action that's adventure with it. You said 1 through 3 though.
I felt like 1 through 3 was still more horror,
but 4. That's what I'm saying though, because I feel like 4 went back to more of the horror aspect of what they were going with.
It was more of a fantastical. What is it? Not psychotic, but
psychological,
a more of a psychological horror to me. It was more like the mystery of this fucking psychopath nigga that's a murderer. But it was nothing like, for me, it was nothing like horror about it. No, the horror was probably when he killed the kids, when he lifted them up in the air. That was the horror of it, but that was more like grotesque, some Saw shit, right? Like when you used to run, like nobody thought that Saw was scary. It was just watching motherfuckers die in the manner that they did that made you cringe. So for me, I felt like seasons 1 through like the beginning of season 3 was more of this like horror shit. Like you're seeing this, it was more horror element to it. And then you got towards the end of season 3 where you're fighting a giant monster in the mall.
I really don't agree with that at all. Like I feel like season 3 really did not have any horror for real. It was more like comedy action.
You didn't feel like Billy in the middle of the street with.
No, it didn't feel like you're talking about one moment, like
I'm not. No, I brought up one moment. I'm not. I said the whole season until you got to the end. I just brought up one example. You can't say I only brought up one moment.
Yeah, I don't agree.
I mean that's
because I remember it just felt more, and that's why I like season 3 is like on the lower end for me. Like, because I feel like it's not Stranger Things. It's more.
Hold on. Mars Monkey Max, bro. I don't know what your issue, bro. We talk about movies over here. What? Because you don't like the show, you don't want us to talk about it. I can't. Like, what you want us to do? Change the topic because you want us to change the topic. If you're leaving, that's fine. But you've been complaining about us talking about it. This is literally in the title of the damn show today. Like what? Like I don't understand. Like the fuck.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I didn't really like the season, man. I just didn't like it. I can't get invested into it because I see more than just the little moments that could be good. Like I think about the whole thing, right? Like so we're starting from the beginning. You know, there's things that you set up in previous seasons that you just completely forget about. Like they completely forget about. There's whole characters missing. Like, you know, like where the fuck is the police chief? Where's the police chief at? Somebody tell me. Like you said, where's his girlfriend? Where's Dustin's girlfriend? Where's Max's mom? You know, she definitely would have been there for Max, who's been in a fucking coma for 2 years. Where's Max's
but
mom?
we didn't see Max's mom. We saw her for all of 5 minutes when they were introduced.
Yeah, but that's still her mother, though. That's still her mother.
Yeah,
And
but
she's
let's
in a
not.
coma.
But wait a minute. Like
And remember, the character Max doesn't have any. She doesn't have any.
But then, okay, so we haven't seen Dustin's mom like that either. We saw her.
Yeah, but you see her when you're supposed. It's the context, right? You see Dustin's mom when you're supposed to see his mom. Max is in a fucking coma for 2 years. There's no reason why her mother should not be there. That just does not make any logical sense.
I guess to me that's a nitpick, but I mean that's fine.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Like where's your mother? Like, oh my god, she's been in a coma for 2 years and she just graduated high school. So what the fuck was Eddie doing all those years to be flunked like that? If Max could just come and graduate, you know, it's this little shit when I'm watching it where it's like I can't connect the dots because you're not giving me a line to go across. You're just throwing something and saying this is what's going on. I'm like, well, that just doesn't make any sense.
Bill S. Preston says, what happened to Derek's family? They woke up after getting drugged.
That's another one.
That's a good. I mean, that's a good one. They woke
What's
up
going
after,
on? Did
they woke up after being drugged. Why weren't folks going after the annoying black girl? No,
they would have had.
No, but that's a fair criticism though.
Yeah, that's another one where it's like, well, what's going on with that? Like, you know, and
but it's not just that. It's also like, bro, like why? I don't understand. This is going back to the consequence thing. I don't understand how is Hawkins unaware of what the fuck was going on that entire time.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's just one of those things where it's like, oh, it was an earthquake.
But like,
come on,
you seeing the military is in the middle of your town, just chilling. There's literally fissures in the middle of your city that popped up out of nowhere. It was a big mistake to have that shit happen in the Abyss. They should have brought that shit to fucking Hawkins.
Yeah,
like I don't understand it. Like you should have. It would have made more sense for you to bring the Mind Flayer down to Hawkins and then use that, kind of like how the Transformers was using the pillars to bring Cybertron to Earth, and then you have the big fight in Hawkins.
Yeah, that way you have everybody in Hawkins see, wow, this is what's going on in our town. So if you want to get to a point where they can get over it, it's like, oh, they see what happened, they accept what happened. Oh, these people saved the day, you know,
right.
and that goes more into your stupid ass Return to King ending that you want to do because now
but,
people.
But not only that, because then you at that point you could bring the military to reality. Because what the fuck is the motivations with the military? I don't understand that. You want to restart. You want to restart the program with L, not even realizing that the only reason the shit worked is because you had Henry. So the nigga that you really want is Henry, but you seen him come through and piece up all your men, but you still want L. I don't understand that.
So the military. Wait a minute, I fucking forgot about this. The military's been in the Upside Down for 2 years, and you're fucking telling me they don't know how to stop a Demogorgon? With all those scientists and all that research that they're doing in the Upside Down, they can't stop a Demogorgon? And Trey Carell brings up a great point. Nancy Wheeler and Jim Hopper gunned down military people, and nothing fucking happened to them.
Oh yeah,
nothing happened to any of our characters by the military. By the way, we don't know what happened. They come back through.
That goes back into the zero consequence shit, where it's like, bro, like. This happened. Okay, great. I need to understand, like, what was the conversation with you guys in the military after L collapsed with the, like,
what's happening?
Did they what did they go my bad and then leave?
Oh,
No,
good shooting,
even
Nancy.
but
Do you
even
want to be
before the
recruited?
finale, you watched Vecna come through and dismantle your entire military, and yet you still decided that the priority was getting L. If you had asked questions instead of trying to fucking kidnap people, you would have found out that, hey, L is not the one you want because you're not going to get a successful, you're not going to get another version of her with her blood. You're only going to get it through Vecna's blood. So how about you team up with us? And then you could have had like them double cross the military at the end with L sacrificing herself and Vecna. But instead, you got the military just basically being a thorn in our side for no fucking reason. Hey, how about we just stop and explain, bitch? There's a fucking demon trying to collapse our planet with another planet.
It's like it's one of those things where it doesn't make any sense. There's no way that the military would just see all this shit happening and not have questions. There's no way that all this stuff is happening. You just saw fucking Vecna come through and rip everybody to shreds and still think that all of this is Eleven's fault.
It wasn't even about it being Eleven's fault. It wasn't even about it being her fault. It was about the fact that they just wanted to create more 11s.
Well, no, I forgot the motivation of the character as well, but that's Linda Hamilton's whole thing. She thinks everything is 11's fault. Like, she thinks this is her fault, and she wants 11 so that she can, again, restart the program and all these other things. She thinks that she's, like, in league or whatever with Henry. Like, I had to go back and watch it. Like, she really thought that this was all her fucking fault. Like, she thought that she was the bad guy, and that's why I'm like, the same plot point that you did in season 4, by the way. The exact same one that you did in season 4. Where you thought it was 11's fault. And that's why you've been chasing her. If you go back and watch the first episode, they're still chasing after 11 because they think that she is the root of all these problems.
Mm-hmm.
And they have no idea about Henry. Where it's like, how the fuck do you have no idea about Henry? You're in the Upside Down. What are we doing?
I think the explanation for that was that Henry was never in the Upside Down.
Well, yeah, he was in the Abyss. That's true.
But even still, which goes into the criticism of setting up things in the earlier shows that you go back on, because there were several times where Demogorgons was just chilling. Not just Demogorgons, the Demobats or whatever the hell, they just chilling in the Upside Down. So like, if Henry needed those kids to do it, I don't know. If he needed those kids, why was he ever in the Upside Down?
I was about to say, wait a minute. What? True. Why the fuck would he ever be in the Upside Down?
If he could just do it from the Abyss.
He wanted an aura farm. That's what it was. That's why he came through the portal, because he wanted to come through and show how badass his transformation was.
He used the kids in season 4 to open up a crack, and I guess to make it vulnerable, to make it easier to do. And then in season 5, he kidnaps more kids.
That's also not explained. Like, they didn't explain why he needed 12 kids. They never explained why he was using the kids, and how he was using the kids to merge the worlds together. Like, how was he doing that? And what does kids have to do with that? And why does he need 12 specifically? They never explained anything about the clock either, because that was a big thing in season 4.
That is true. With the kids, I'm going to assume that because we find out that he used Will to carve out all the tunnels under. So I'm assuming that he's using the kids to amplify his abilities to be able to do certain things. That's the best way I can give you.
I guess this is one of those things where he can just do that. I guess like he can
because if he's saying he used Will as a spy every night that Will went to sleep, he was carving out tunnels in Hawkins. Okay, fine. Now you're kidnapping more kids. I can only assume that using the kids, it amplifies what he's able to do.
Vecna had more kids than the Somali daycare. Hold on. You just earned a fucking Don DeMarco, nigga. God damn. Oh man. Oh well, wait. I just thought about something else. So they never explained. First of all, you saw with the Rock. That's how he gets the powers, right? The Rock, and I found this out today when I was editing my fucking video. By the way, which just dropped earlier today. Y'all should go watch it. That the Rock is a setup for a fucking spinoff show.
Yeah.
It's a setup for a spinoff show. So they don't even tell you where the Rock came from. They don't tell you what the Mind Flayer's real power was. And they don't tell you what his motivation was or what he wanted to do. And if that is a Mind Flayer, because remember, a Mind Flayer is something that's from D&D. That's just what the kids were calling it, right? Like it's something that controls minds to take over planets. Is that actually what it was? Like, what was it? What was its motivation? Is this the first planet that it's taken over, or has this been fucking sitting there for ages or whatever? Like, we don't know. And you want to know something else I found out today? Most of the backstory for fucking Vecna is in a goddamn play.
Yeah.
Are you fucking stupid? You got the backstory for your main antagonist in a play that nobody's gonna go watch or hasn't gone watch your general audience? Are we being so fucking for real right now? Like, come on. And back to the Demobats and Demogorgons thing. I saw somebody make the best comparison I've ever seen. They said that would be like if Sauron had Mordor empty because he didn't think that they were going to bring the ring back to Mount Doom.
Nah, that's crazy.
Think about it. Think about it. That's like
I don't need to think about it. I thought about it and I'm like, yeah, nah, that's crazy.
Like, no, they ain't ballsy enough to bring that ring back here. I'm just going to keep my lands empty. Like, what? Are you fucking serious, man? But okay, so overall, let's just do it like an overall. Like, I don't really want to do like a 1 through 10 thing because I kind of feel like that rating scale is kind of reductive. Like anybody's numbers could be different. I think it would be more of like, should you watch it or shouldn't you watch it kind of thing, or did you like it? Did you not enjoy it? Like, I'm gonna be honest, man. Like, I didn't enjoy myself watching it. It's not something that I'll probably go back and watch. You know, if you've watched the show up to this point, sure, watch it. You know, if you want to get the ending of what they're telling with the story. But for me personally, I did not like it. I did not like it. I have a lot of problems with it, even more problems than I've said today. And I feel like it's not terrible. That's the thing. Like, it's not super terrible, like Atreus would say. It's not Game of Thrones level season 8. It's not that bad of a destruction. But at the same time, like I'm not a fan of the bigotry of low expectations, right? Like, just because it's not as bad as it could be, I don't feel like that's acceptable. Like, and I said it today in my video, like it's not terrible, but it didn't stick the landing. It just glided close to the ground to not crash and burn. So it's like, yeah, I mean, sure, it can be acceptable if you just want to get the ending to the story and not think about it. If you don't want to think about it, sure. But once you think about it, it's like a fucking domino effect where it just keeps going, and I can't get any enjoyment out of it. So yeah, I mean, I if you like Stranger Things and just want the ending, sure. But if you were somebody that never watched Stranger Things, I would just say, hey, just watch the season 1 and just let it go.
All right. So yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem with his score. Like I said, y'all, I give it 6 bananas out of 10. To me, listen, I always told y'all I'm not gonna get up here and I'm not gonna get up here and lie to y'all about nothing. And I enjoyed it. You know what I'm saying? I was entertained while I was watching it, and I was also able to be entertained and be able to sit there and be like, well, wait a minute. Like I there were times where, like, yeah, I'm enjoying what I'm looking at, and then somebody will say something or something that happened. I'm like, well, wait a minute now, hold on, okay, you know, but like I said, my fandom of Stranger Things was more about the characters. I loved Elle, I loved Mike, I loved Lucas, I loved Max, I loved Dustin, I love Steve. Even the lesbian girl, I don't love her, but like, you know what I'm saying, I don't mind her being around. But there were too many characters. I love Hopper. I don't know if I love Joyce. Joyce kind of, even before season 5, Joyce kind of annoyed me because it's like, bitch, just give my boy some box and let it go. Like, what are we talking about? So, but anyway, and I like Will. But it played it safe. It didn't kill nobody off. It didn't even flirt with killing nobody off. Because even when it felt like Steve was about to die, it didn't feel like he was about to die. Like, oh Jesus Christ, we're gonna do this in slow motion and pretend like you're about to kill Steve. We know you're not about to kill Steve.
Yeah, that was so annoying, dude.
Yeah, so like you played it safe. You didn't kill anybody off. You did some ignorant stuff with their relationships. Like we had this big love triangle between Steve, Nancy, and what's his name, John. Yeah. And you mean to tell me nobody ended up with Nancy at the end? This fucking bitch went off and she became an independent woman that didn't need no man in the fucking 80s. Are you fucking retarded? Like, what are we fucking doing? So yeah, there were definitely some plot holes. But again, when I hold this up, I try to be consistent. I try to maintain a level of consistency, integrity, and honesty, and have complete standards when I grade stuff. Which is why I don't review stuff all the time, because I think it takes a lot of dedication to it. When I hold this up against some of the worst shows that I've seen, I can't get up here and tell you that something I actively enjoyed when I was watching it that you shouldn't watch it. My whole thing is, if you've never seen Stranger Things, I would say watch season 1, see if you like it. If you really like it, continue on and watch all of it. The season 5 is the weakest of all the seasons. Like, simply because it crumbled under the weight of all the expectations that it made for itself. It just didn't live up to it. But it's not trash. There's a lot of plot holes, a lot of ignorant shit, but it's not trash. Game of Thrones season 8 was trash. That's pure trash. I think Game of Thrones is the shining example of the worst climax to any piece of media ever. And I'll stand on that. From the Starbucks bottle, the Starbucks cup that was literally caught. You know how lazy you have to, and I know I always reference me going to school for digital filmmaking. I only went for a year, so I didn't get to complete. But even all those students know, under no circumstances could you get not only your cinematographer to capture that, but to get it past the editors.
And they did the same thing in this show. They did the same thing. In episode 7, Holly has an Under Armour shirt on, and Under Armour wasn't made until 1996.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
But wow, that's bad. That's bad.
You know what I'm saying? That's when I made my it's just like Game of Thrones video, or it looked like it was going the same way because they were having the exact same similarities.
Well, that's bad. That's definitely bad. But Starbucks in medieval times, though.
Yeah, that's one of those things where it's like, nigga, come on, bro. You can't even hand wave that away.
You have to really be in it to see Under Armour in the 80s. Wait a minute, bitch. Okay, like most normies not gonna pick up on that. Yeah, but nigga, Starbucks, nigga, did I see a dragon and Starbucks in the same scene? What the fuck? Yeah, no. But yeah, though. So and then plus with the long night, did anybody see shit? No, you couldn't see shit in the long night.
So, I would say I this is the only thing I could give Game of Thrones season 8 over Stranger Things season 5. At least they acted. They acted their fucking ass off in that final season.
I guess it depends on who you're talking about. Because Daenerys and fucking Jon Snow, that was some of the worst acting I've seen.
You could tell they really did not like what they were doing, and
they didn't. And I think that showed through their acting. They did not what they were doing.
But pretty much everybody else, like, they're still on their A game.
I think Jamie did the best.
Very good acting.
Jamie did the best he could with what's our midget's name?
Yeah, man, fucking Tyrion.
Peter Dinklage. He was Tyrion, but the fucking script wasn't Tyrion. This nigga was a mastermind the entire season. I mean, the entire show, and turned into a complete dumbass out of nowhere.
Yeah, that started in season 5. A lot of people give Game of Thrones a lot of leeway, but it really went down in season 5. And season 5 and 6 are still watchable, But when you get to season 7, it is complete dog shit. Like it sucks.
But see, I can still watch up to season 7.
I can't. I have to stop at 6. I have to stop. And for the simple fact of Daenerys, like she just flips on a dime in character, and then on the wall episode where they go past the wall to get the White Walker, it's the worst fucking episode of the entire series. I won't hear anything else. It's the worst episode in the whole series.
What sprint was that? He ran a 2.6 to get back.
That nigga is the Flash. Boy,
that nigga turned into Quicksilver.
God, dude. I know Arya had a long night when he was fucking her. That nigga got stamina for days, boy, because that's ridiculous. I fucking hate that episode with all of my heart.
Ramsay Snow was he would,
and that's why I say season 5 and 6 are still serviceable, because there are still very good moments like Hard Home and everything going on with Ramsay and Jon Snow in the north and things, and then it's still very good. And then you have the Sand Snakes.
It's so bad that like when I said that I could watch up to season 7, I've only rewatched it once, and I stopped at season 7. But because I never went to season 8, when I think about it, I cannot go back and watch any of it, because I know how it ends. Knowing how it ends, I can't even like with Stranger Things. I can take this to my kids one day and be like, "Hey, listen, you know, it don't end the best, but just the same way I let you watch Dragon Ball Z, the same way I made y'all watch Naruto, and probably at this point going to be Demon Slayer, I can get my kids and my family to watch Stranger Things. Under no circumstances am I going to recommend a lover, a side piece, a friend, or nothing to watch Game of Thrones. I can't.
Yeah, man. I want to disagree, but I feel the same, because it's like there's a difference.
Why would I set you up for that?
Yeah, that's like a different kind of heartbreak. You know what I mean? Like, because those first 4 seasons of Game of Thrones is like the best television you've ever seen. It's so fucking good. And then you get to 5 and 6, and you could clearly see the downward trend, but it's still pretty good. And then you get to season 7, and you're like, oh no. And then you get to season 8, and you want to like punch a hole in the fucking wall. Like it's
She's my queen. Well, if you don't get in there and fuck your goddamn auntie.
God damn, dude. They let a political prisoner determine the future of fucking rest. Let me stop. Yeah, like you see, Stranger Things season 5 is not that bad. It's not as bad as Game of Thrones season 8. But to me, at least, I just, I
remember that face at the end Daenerys was making before she slaughtered all them people on just.
I do remember that. I do. Oh,
I'm like, bitch, calm down. And then
it's also like, you could have done this story. You could have done this story where she flips and she becomes mad. But you need like 2 seasons to do that, or at least 1.
This bitch went from the savior to the fucking mad queen in 10 minutes.
Oh god, dude, it was. Oh man. You wouldn't. Oh man. Battle of the Bastards was season 6.
But the biggest crime that season 8 committed was that Cersei fucking died by rocks. I could not believe that shit. I could not believe.
Cersei and Jaime died underneath the Red Keep, and then the next episode, Tyrion is able to walk under the Red Keep and find them. Bro, I was in story time. I was contracting in Kuwait at the time. 2 baddies, a Jamaican and another older black chick with me. I used to go to their room every week to watch Game of Thrones, and then do some grown shit afterwards. It was great. It was so bad, I didn't even want to fuck after watching that episode. I was like, yeah, I'm pissed. I'm going to sleep. Like, I was that angry. I didn't even want to fuck
the
afterwards.
Shit that Cersei did for 8 seasons, this bitch got death by rocks. Not because she was stoned to death, but because the fucking Red Keep fell on her.
Fuck. I was so angry. You have no idea. I was so like,
this
when the episode
children.
Started,
She murdered children.
We didn't even talk about Jamie washing up ashore or Jamie going to the Red Keep at the very moment that fucking Euron fucking Greyjoy, the worst character in the entire show, that shows up out of nowhere. He must have swam in Blackwater Bay from his boat all the way to the Red Keep at the one moment that Jamie fucking Lannister is what? Oh, god damn it, dude. Oh my god. It was so... I fucking hate that. Oh god. I hate that season. I hate it. I hate it, dude. I fucking hate it. Like, you have the one character that you've shown us for 7 seasons, saving people's lives. She could have came to Westeros seasons ago, but decided to stay because she wanted to free the slaves, murder innocent people, because fucking what? And literally, literally the season before, which in the time span of the show was like a few weeks or a few months before, she said, "I did not come here to be queen of the ashes." And then, man,
burns down. No, we got to end the show.
Yeah, I'm gonna get mad. We got super chats to read and shit. I can't.
That was a bar when she said it. If you never seen Game of Thrones, Daenerys literally said the reason because people tried to tell her, "Listen, you have 3 dragons, babe. Just go over there and take your throne back." And she replied out of the goodness of her heart, "I am not taking back what is owed to me to be queen of the ashes," and then proceeds to burn everything down.
With her Dothraki, by the way, that for some reason didn't all die running in a fucking White Walk. Oh god damn it! Yeah, we can't talk
not
about
only that, her dragon that saved her for 8 seasons straight that she raised. Watched her get killed by her fucking boyfriend right in front of him, and instead of flaming him up, she flamed up the damn dragon flamed up the throne because the dragon somehow knew that it was the throne that was causing all the drama.
The dragon knows symbolism. Suck my dick, Dan and Dave. You fucking. Oh, I almost said it. Bastards.
We got some super chats we got to read. We got to go. I don't even. We were supposed to be talking about Stranger Things, and
yeah, dude. You know what? Back to Stranger Things. Welcome to Derry, in my opinion, was a better season.
Welcome to Derry. Definitely had a better season, but we have to. But see, that could all change.
How it ends. Yeah,
That could all. If they decide how many seasons they're gonna do after this, that could all change.
So they have another season. I think they have 2 seasons planned. Because it's an anthology. Because you remember Pennywise, he goes back. So you know they got this season. Then the next season is supposed to be in like the 1930s or something. And then the season after that's supposed to be in the early 1900s. And then I think they got a movie plan. So if they keep going the way the first season going, we'll see. But I can't say the series is better because it's only been 1 season. But I'll say season to season, I'll watch.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely better than season 5.
Yeah. I've rewatched Welcome to Derry. It's fucking good. Is
this where we stopped at?
Yeah.
Okay, UF Omega says, Nick, stop calling me Shirley.
I can't believe his last name.
Big Shirley.
That song on repeat when we go to FatCon, dude. God damn it.
UF Omega says Atreus or Hypno Google Ostrich Foot Tribe and show